Nehus.
Now, Nehus, once again, in order for that matchup that we're talking about to favor in SNU, Nehus got to stay in the game. Obviously.
And actually, they're going to call that foul. Actually, no, they're going to correct it. They had 21 who is not in the game as of right now. It'll be 24, Sydney, Carolina. First shot from McDonald is good. Selena McDonald, a 6'2 freshman out of Fletcher, Oklahoma. So a freshman on this team. She's obviously made a big impact, and she gets Northwestern on the board. Second free throw is up. And it is good. We have a 6-2 game in the first minute and a half.
Well, here's where SNU kind of struggles. I mean, they started out the past few games. They've gone out to really, really hot starts, but then they falter just a little bit. They're going to have to play the same way the whole game as Sydney Carolina puts up a shot.
No good. Nehus trying to pull the rebound down, and it's going to come out. It looked like Brown almost corralled it, but her foot was on the line, so it'll stay SNU ball. Shot clock does reset, and Barry will set to inbound it on the baseline. Barry's going to go out to the top of the arc. Carolina with it. Gets over to Perez. Wide open for three. Off the back iron, no good. And it will go out of bounds and to Northwestern. It looks like early on Northwestern kind of letting Southern Nazarene take some deep shots.
And you know what? I honestly can't blame them that much. Irene Perez, not really one to take a whole lot of deep shots. She doesn't make a whole lot of them. Alexis Jones, Adrienne Barry, those are their real outside shooters. And as long as they contain them, yeah, go ahead and shoot.
Ote way off on that three-point attempt. Carolina with the rebound. Southern Nazarene thought about running. They slowed down a little bit. Perez now brings it back out. Barry, top of the arc. She looks to drive all the way. Nice floater. Misses short, though. Nehus tries to pull down the rebound. I believe she does and draws the foul.
That's going to be on number 14, McDonald.
And McDonald's going to get her first foul. And you mentioned the point. SNU only a 30% three-point shooting team. Obviously, Barry the one that can really hurt you, but it's like Northwestern going to let them take some deep shots here early on. Carolina's going to get to Perez. 2-3 zone shown here by Northwestern. Inside to Nehus. Beautiful passing. Carolina with the easy layup, and just beautiful ball movement there from the Crimson Storm.
Now, Sydney Carolina came on the scene last year, and she has that little flip, just that little scoop layup with her left hand, and not a whole lot of people in the GAC can guard it.
A miss there by Jones, but the rebound to Niederer. Ote looking to drive back to Niederer. She pump fakes the three and now drives. Tough shot. It's blocked by Nehus, and back comes SNU. Jones with the ball. She has it at the wing. She looks to drive. Out to Carolina. Thought about the three. It'll go to Perez in the corner. 4-3. It's good. 11-2 SNU.
Now, there's not a whole lot of people in the Sawyer Center just yet, but that one will be the Silent Night break shot, so now the fan's going to go just a little bit louder than normal.
A miss there by McDonald. Rebound comes out to Jones. Jones slows it down, looks to set up the offense. She'll come off a screen by Nehus. Carolina open for three. Again, thought about it. Perez now drives. Back out to Carolina. She'll take a three. It's good! SNU on fire! And Northwestern will take a timeout with 6:32 in the first quarter. SNU hot from the field so far. They lead 14-2. You are watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com. Back here in the Sawyer Center, a hot start for SNU, 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 from behind the arc. They lead Northwestern 14-2. Great start, John, for the Crimson Storm.
Great start, but this is a disturbing trend for the Crimson Storm. They start out great, but it gets hairy down the stretch. They've started out great the last 2 games against Arkansas Tech and Harding. They won one game by 1. They lost the other one by 2. So SNU going to have to keep it up.
Brown drives. Beautiful drive and finish. And it's 14-4. First field goal for Northwestern. Barry comes back the other way. Floater is short. Rebound to Carolina. Back out to Barry. She'll take a 3 this time. And it's good. 5 of 7 from deep early on for SNU. They lead 17-4. Back on the other end comes Jones. It's blocked. Looks like either Barry or Carolina. One of them got a piece of it.
That was Carolina.
Break. Other way. Perez. Foul. And 1. And SNU leads 19-4.
Well, Irene Perez missed her first one. Since then, she's been on fire. Everybody's been on fire for the Crimson Storm. Somebody lit a wildfire in the plains of Oklahoma, and it's concentrated on the Sawyer Center.
Mackenzie Dean, Bailey Forrell into the game for Northwestern. Perez looking to complete the 3-point play. It's up. It's good. 20-4 in the first 4 minutes for Southern Nazarene, and back comes Northwestern. Jones will bring it down. She's being defended by Alexis Jones. She'll go to the outside. Pump fake there by Dean. And she tries to get it out to Farrell, almost taken away, but Farrell corrals it. Now she drives, pulls up her dribble, and she goes back outside to Jones, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jones calling for a screen. McDonald sets it. And she's going to come baseline, tries to lay it off there to Brown. Brown can't corral it, and that will be a turnover for Northwestern. SNU ball.
Well, SNU's playing so hot right now. You got to think, if they played this kind of ball the entire game, this is a team that can stack up with Haley Tucker and the SWASU Bulldogs. We'll just have to see how it goes the rest of the game.
Carolina with the ball, drops it over to Perez. Alexis Jones with it inside to Carolina. She goes back out to Perez. Perez now drives out to Jones. Jones will take a 3. That one's off. Perez, though, pulls down the rebound. Nice handoff there to Carolina. Just misses off the back iron, but Carolina pulls it back down, and they'll get it out. Barry will take that shot all day off the back iron. Rebound out to McDonald. Northwestern hands it off to Jones. And you can see early on Alexis Jones on Jade Jones. Jade Jones is the leading scorer, leader in assists. Alexis Jones is on her tight early on.
And they just want to ISO her, just put her on as tight as they could possibly get. Jones versus Jones, and right now Alexis Jones is clearly winning.
Northwestern driving the baseline is Bailey Brown, and it is blocked by Nehus, and they're going to force a tie-up, which will be SNU basketball. And for the first time today, we are going to see Kennedy Gillette, the freshman out of Edmond, Oklahoma, wearing number 22. She comes in for Carolina. And we have a timeout on the floor. They were calling, I think, for media timeout, but once we had the timeout on the floor, there should not be a media. So we should continue play unless someone did call a timeout. And no, they got that corrected, and so we're back on the floor here.
Well, somebody tell the band that they can't play. There it is. There it is.
Band closes in. We're set to go here, and Alexis Jones will bring it forward. You know, John, an interesting thing I did notice, the last 2 games for Southern Nazarene women, they scored 85 and 77, their highest outputs of the season. Their field goal percentage were also the 2 highest outputs of the season, as that is out of bounds and will remain SNU basketball. So this offense may be starting to trend upwards here, at least based on the last 2 games.
New year, new team, possibly.
Absolutely. They've been hot shooting the ball in 2018. Perez has it, and they'll get it out to Gillette. Gillette to Jones at the wing. Jones will come around the arc and hand it off to Perez.
They're going to have to get a shot off pretty quick.
3 seconds. Gillette will take that mid-range, misses short, and they're going to get Perez on an over the back as Brown was able to pull that rebound down. 3:47 remaining here in the first quarter, a 20-4 lead for SNU as Jones had it swiped there by Alexis Jones, almost came away with the steal. And I tell you, Jade Jones is feeling a lot of pressure here from Alexis Jones.
And here's what I don't understand. Why not just bring another player to help? Yes, you have the inbound person streaking, but she just leaves her, as you just see.
So Jade Jones looking to run. Alexis Jones step for step with her. It's a man-to-man defense by SNU, and now Jones is going to get called for a bump. That will be her first. And it'll be a baseline out of bounds here for Northwestern. So Jones, you can tell a lot of the offense runs through Jones, and they've been disrupted here early on by the SNU defense. And Jones tried to get into McDonald, went right back to Jones, who was out of bounds, and that is another turnover for Northwestern. I believe they're 4th in the quarter.
And you hit it. They run a lot through Jones, but as soon as you take Jones out of the equation or make it harder for her, the offense stalls.
Gillette takes the inside pass, gets it back out to Jones. They'll go to Nehus. Mid-range baseline jumper is good. 22-4 SNU.
Now, if you're a center or a power forward, that little baseline jumper should be money, bread and butter. So if Nehus that close, is usually automatic.
Jones is going to bring it back out, waiting for a call here. And Jones gets it out to Dean. Dean over to Farrell. Farrell coming around the arc, looking to try to go inside. McDonald gets it around the free throw line. Nehus all over her, but she just got her, I believe, on the elbow, and that's going to be a foul. And that will be the second on Nehus. That's a big foul there.
That is a big foul, and all it was is she just took one little jump.
Excuse me, that was her first. I think we thought one earlier was on her, but they ended up calling it on Carolina. So only the first on Nehus, but they do need to keep her out of foul trouble.
Definitely need to keep her out of foul trouble. And all it was she just took a small little jump into it. If she just staying straight up, that's no foul at all. And she's usually pretty good about that.
Checking into the game will be Julia Schwaski, the freshman out of Sugar Land, in for the first time today. Second free throw is up. And that's off the front iron, no good, rebounded by Barry. 1 of 9 here in the first quarter for Northwestern, 8 of 16 for Southern Nazarene, as Gillette has it at the wing. She gets it out to Jones. Jones over to Schwaski, inside to Gillette. Gillette back out to Jones. She looked to drive, now tries to go to Barry and pass a little off there, and that'll be a rare turnover on Alexis Jones. And we'll have some more substitutions in, including Madeline Schroepfer.
It's Schroepfer.
Excuse me. Schroepfer into the game. And then we have number 21, Hannah Peterson, into the game for Northwestern.
And now here's the thing about Madeline Schroepfer. She doesn't put up the points, but she has the motor. And really the biggest thing for Schroepfer, her biggest contribution to the team doesn't show up on the stat sheet. That's a little fake out, easy money right there. She doesn't show up on the stat sheet a whole lot, but just the motor and the drive and the energy she gives to the team, they play much better when Schroepfer's on the floor.
Mackenzie Dean with the easy layup there. Gillette's going to take a mid-range jumper from the free throw line. No good. Rebound comes to Farrell. Farrell gets it to Ote. Ote's going to go forward to Brown, wide open. Gillette came and fouled her. Probably a good foul there instead of giving up the easy layup. A good hard foul. And going to the line will be Bailey Brown.
That's a great foul by Gillette. Just you're gonna foul, but at least you know that you're not giving up any points, and you send a message.
Bailey Brown, a 74% free throw shooter, as her first one is up and good. Brown, a freshman forward on this team, and seeing her first action will be Candace Freeman into the game for SNU. So one more free throw coming up for Brown. It's up. Off the back iron, no good, but the rebound's going to come out to Farrell. I believe it was Dean who got a piece of it, and Ote with the shot way off, and Schwaski gets the rebound, and she'll get it to Schroepfer. Schroepfer looking to run here, comes over to the free throw line, gets out Gillette, open for three. Off the back iron, no good, but a long rebound to Gillette. Well, it looked like it, but they're going to get a foul on the rebound on Schwaski, and that's going to be her first. So Northwestern will get it going the other way, and we are in the bonus, so 2 free throws coming up for the Rangers.
Well, all that was, Schwacky just put a little bit of an extra elbow, just a little bit of an extra push as the ball's coming over, a little bit unnecessary force, and they'll call that. It's a little bit of a ticky-tack, but it just depends on the referees that you have.
Unfortunate rebound, because it looked like it was an easy rebound coming back out to Gillette as the first one from Farrell is down. So 22-9 now the score. Still a comfortable lead so far for SNU, but the Rangers trying to claw back into it, especially at the free throw line as the second one's up, and it is good. So 22-10 now to score as Schroepfer brings it down. And Schroepfer spins and comes forward. Gets it out to Schwacky for 3. Good! 25 points here in the first quarter for SNU. As Schwacky drains that 3. Brown coming the other way, drives, and we get a foul on the floor. And Brown's going to go back to the line. They're going to get the foul on Freeman. And that'll be her first. And to the line will go Bailey Brown. What are you seeing so far, though, this first quarter? This offense, especially from behind the arc, already 6 3-pointers. Excuse me. Yes, 6 for 11 from the three-point line early on.
Well, it's 6 for 11 from the three-point line early on, as you're saying. But once again, now you're starting to see Northwestern trying to get a little bit of momentum. They've cut this lead, which was 16. They've cut it to 14, and and now 13. So it's all a matter of staying in the game as long as you can until about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Then you make a move. So SNU needs to find a way to just put nails in the coffin early.
Schwacke will get to Schrepfer. Schrepfer to Gillette. Gillette back out to Schrepfer. Thought about the three. Instead will drive. Tries to put the layup up. No good. Freeman was going to pull down the rebound. They're going to get a foul. Looks like on Hannah Peterson, I believe. Actually, check that. It will be on number 30, Bailey Brown. That'll be her first. Carolina's going to check back into the game. And Carolina today already with 8 points in the first quarter. Perez also back into the game. She also has 8. I'm sorry, that was a foul there on Freeman, or Freeman draws the foul. She'll get 2 shots. And they're going to get it on Farrell. I believe for Farrell, that may be her second foul. So Freeman's going to shoot 2. Candace Freeman, the junior out of Prosper, Texas. First one is up, and it is good. We have 55 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 26-12, SNU leading Northwestern. And as we look at it, Freeman on the season, 83% free throw shooter, almost automatic as the second one is in. 27-12, Northwestern looking like they're really trying to get some transition offense going on some of these made shots as Ote is going to hand off to Farrell. Farrell back to Ote. Ote drives into the paint and kind of gets caught up but just runs through the 2 defenders and draws the foul.
That's going to be against Freeman once again.
So Freeman will get the foul. We're going to have 2 shots, I believe. Actually, we have an injury first on the floor. And we'll stay here with you here for a moment. 41 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 27-12, SNU leading Northwestern.
Well, as you were seeing, I mean, as we have an injured Ranger getting 10-2, I think Northwestern's really going to have to rely on their bench because, as we were saying, that a lot of their offense runs through their leading scorer, Jones, and Alexis Jones has her tied up. So if they can't get it going in the way that they would prefer, they're going to have to get it done alternatively with their bench. And I don't know how good that bench is compared to SNU starters.
As I mentioned, Jayce Jones, she's the leading scorer on the team, 12.7 points per game, but she also averages about 5 assists per game, which is second in the conference. I think the game plan for SNU is if we can cut her off, we're going to give them a lot of trouble as Ote is up. This means we're going to have a different free throw shooter, which I believe SNU gets to choose from the 5 on the floor. So we will see who will go to the line here momentarily for Northwestern.
Well, it looks like they're getting the disinfectant out there, so there may have been some blood drawn down there.
It looks like as she's walking off, she's holding her face, maybe caught a little cut. It was a hard – she went in and had no fear going to the cup, but she went right through 2 defenders in the process, so may have caught something. And Jade Jones is actually going to go to the line, and she is a 74% free throw shooter, so I'm not sure if – I think the rule is usually the other team gets to choose if there's an injury, but in this case it looks like maybe Northwestern got to choose because this is one of their better free throw shooters. The first one is up, and it is good. So 27-13.
Well, there's the senior, Rachel Dorneman, as she'll come in, and Rachel Dorneman has been the starter for a few years, but she has been I don't want to say usurped, but replaced with Abby Nehughes, and she's accepted the role as a support role, so she's coming into it really, really great.
And as Gillette, showing a little bit of a half-court press there, Gillette got it and drew the foul, and it's going to be free throws. That's the 15 foul on Northwestern, so 2 more free throws coming up, this time from Kennedy Gillette, as her first one is up and good. Freshman from Edmond, Oklahoma, as Mackenzie Billy checks into the game for Northwestern. So Gillette, you can almost say kind of the sixth man on this team. Usually she's one of the first reserves to check into the game as the second one is good. 29-14, Southern Nazarene here in the first quarter as Jade Jones comes forward. Schrepfer now on her as they will get it over to Billy. Billy looking to drive. And she picks up her dribble, and she tries a cross-court pass, almost taken away by Schrepfer. Not the best pass there by Billy going cross-court like that. And it will be out of bounds here to Northwestern with 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, there's about a 2-second difference in between shot clock and game clock going on right now. So they're going to have – so SNU may have an opportunity to get down the court.
Jones will look to drive, and she draws a foul. I believe that will be on Gillette. And it will be. So Jones is going to go back to the free throw line. And honestly, that is how so far Northwestern has stayed in this game. 10 of 12 from the free throw line. They've gotten to, this is their 13th and 14th time at the line, as the first one is no good. One more coming up for Jones.
10 of the 14 points that Northwestern has scored have come from the charity stripe tonight.
As the second one is good, so 29-15, 4 seconds remaining. Schrepfer will look to run, see if SNU can get a shot off. Schrepfer still going, and that shot's way off, and that will end the first quarter. But what a first quarter it was for SNU. I would venture to say their best quarter this season as they lead 29-15 over Northwestern. We will be right back. You are watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com. (29-15), SNU leading Northwestern here early on. And I mentioned, so if you look at the team highs for SNU this season, 83 and 77, those are their last two games. Those are their team high for points. And then for field goal percentage, 44% and 43% in their last two games. Also team highs. So this offense really starting to come around as Northwestern will start with the ball to start the second quarter, as Farrell with it right now. And he'll get outside to Billy, look to drive, gets it back out to Farrell, and it's going to be an offensive foul, legal screen there. I believe that's going to be on Mackenzie Billy, and SNU already, that is the 5th turnover of the game for Northwestern.
And we were talking about it during the break that SNU just took Jade Jones out of the game, and without Jones, this Northwestern team, they're just a little bit out of sync. They're just a little bit every player's drumming to their own beat instead of working as a unit, and SNU's going to have to continue to exploit that.
Southern Nazarene turns it over. Dorneman got tied up, but they're going to call a hold on her, so it will be an offensive foul on the other end for Southern Nazarene. So back comes Northwestern. Jade Jones with it. We'll get it out to Niederer. Niederer looks to drive, and another touch foul by Schwacke. And this is going to be the key to the game. The only reason, we said it during the break, the only reason Northwestern is in this game at all right now is because they are 11 for 14 at the free throw line. Otherwise, this would be a blowout.
They've only scored 4 points from the field.
Southern Nazarene's going to have to slow down these fouls and keep them off the free throw line because they seem to shoot it pretty well from the charity stripe as Billy backs down. Tough shot, gets the foul, and one, and back to the free throw line goes Northwestern. And they're going to get the foul. It looks like they got the foul on number 23, Addison Foster, who checked into the game to start the second quarter. So Billy looking to complete the three-point play. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound will come out to McDonald. Burrell thought about the three. Gets it to Billy. And look to hand off to Jones, but Alexis Jones, who just checked back in, is just denying the ball to Jade Jones. So Farrell with it, looking to drive. She gets into the paint, pulls up, out to Jade Jones. Alexis Jones defending. Jones coming down, hands it off to Billy. She looks to drive. Barry on her. Tough shot, no good. Rebound will come out out to Farrell, and then it's blocked by Barry. And it comes to Alexis Jones, who draws a foul.
That's going to be against Billy once again.
That's going to be the second on Billy. And the story of the game continues to be Jade Jones cannot get anything going on the offensive end for Northwestern. Alexis Jones has her clamped down right now.
And even whenever we had that rare moment where somebody on Northwestern is not covered, Adrian Berry just comes up, straight up denies a shot, keeps that offense of Northwestern sputtering.
Niehus with it. It was inside to Carolina. Good job keeping possession there. They go out to Foster, wide open for three. Off the front iron. Niehus, though, pulls down the rebound. Back up, no good. And this time McDonald pulls down the board. Jones looking to run in transition. Jones looking to drive. Hands it off to Farrell. Farrell goes out to Niederer. Niederer steps back, fires a three-pointer. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound to Niehus. Alexis Jones will bring it up. Jones looks like she wants a screen, and she'll get it over to Foster instead. Inside to Carolina. Oh, beautiful ball action, but just out of the hands of Niehus. But Jones picks it up, and then they're going to get a travel, on Foster. So a turnover here for SNU, second of the quarter.
And there should be some points down there for Abby Niehus. She had it perfect block out, perfect position. She just made the mistake of bringing it down to her waist. She goes straight back up with that above her head. That's easy points. SNU adds on to their lead. They haven't scored in a little while.
I haven't scored in this quarter as of yet, but a turnover there by Jay Jones as Barry comes away with the steal. And I credit that again to great defense from Alexis Jones. Drives, dribbles out, gets it over to Barry, 4-3, off, and rebound to McDonald. And I think you're right on the money, John. A little bit of a slump here on the offensive end for SNU. Can't seem to buy a basket right now as Niederer drives. Mid-range jumper is good, and suddenly we have a 10-point game.
And this is what I was worried about just a little bit ago. Start out hot, and then you start to hit a slump. What happens now? How do you respond?
Barry drove and was looking for the floater, but instead it's an offensive foul as McDonald just set up in the paint. Maybe she went back a little early, but they call Barry for the charge, and it will be Northwestern basketball. And
that's what we may be thinking. Like she put up a shot, but it looks like just it had nothing on it, not a chance to go into the basket. That's probably attributable to contact. You could call that probably either way.
And Jones again takes the inbound, and Jones just swipes it again out of her hands, and Jones just staying step for step with Jade Jones, just not letting her do anything as Alexis Jones and Jade Jones continue to battle. Niederer gets it and then kind of loses her balance, and it'll be a traveling violation. Basketball back to SNU. SNU still doing a nice job defensively. They've got to start figuring it out again on the offensive end. When they played Harding, they had such a hot first quarter. In the second quarter, they cooled down so much that Harding actually came all the way back and took the lead. SNU needs to keep the foot on the gas pedal here on the offensive end. And the 2-3 zone, Northwestern staying with it. Beautiful pass from Jones to Barry. Barry pulls it down, lays it in, and the lead back out to 12.
That's what Alexis Jones brings to this SNU team. She's very young, but she can pass like nobody's business.
Jones tried to go up on the layup, and Niehus altered her shot, and Niehus alters the shot of McDonald. SNU looking to run. Alexis Jones with it.
I believe that's two or three blocks for Niehus already.
Irene Perez with it now and picks up her dribble, and I believe slides her foot, and another traveling violation here on SNU. And checking back into the game will be Bailey Brown for Northwestern. 2 blocks for Niehus, so you're right on the money there, John. Northwestern will inbound it. Jade Jones with it. And she'll come forward. SNU has remained in this man-to-man defense, and it has been very successful here in the first half. Brown looking to drive on Barry. Tough layup, no good. Rebound, though, and put back by Hannah Peterson. And the lead's back down to 10. Jones with it, comes off the screen from Niehus. Tried to pass it into Carolina. It's taken away by Peterson.
But she had such a great pass on that last possession that she thought she could thread the needle, just not that much. Not quite.
And then they try to get a pass inside to Brown, who cannot control it. And a turnover for Northwestern. Carolina almost loses it. Gains control, though, and Perez now looking to drive. Beautiful drive, but misses the layup and the rebound to Brown. Back comes Northwestern. Jones looking for Niederer, and Carolina got a piece of it. Perez comes down with it. Back comes SNU now. Perez crosses over, and she'll try to slow it down. Probably a smart move there after a couple turnovers on each end. Berry goes to Carolina. Carolina's just going to take the mid-range jumper, and it's good. She picked up her dribble, and I think, well, nobody's around me. I'll just take it here.
Now, normally you'll see, like, male players just normally just take it. If it's not quite there, you don't see a whole lot of women taking that shot because they got to get a little bit more on it, but she just takes it, boom, automatic. She now has 10.
As there is a miss by Beecham, but she pulls down her own rebound and then steps out of bounds. And that we will take a timeout here with 4:40 remaining in the second quarter. Your score, Southern Nazarene 33, Northwestern 21. You are watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com. Back here in the Sawyer Center, 33-21, SNU leads Northwestern. John, we were talking about during the break, a stat that just jumps out at you. SNU, 10 assists as a team. Northwestern, 0.
Zip.
And that is a huge, huge difference. And not to mention, 0 assists and 9 turnovers so far. As SNU inbounds it, Jones with it. She'll get it to Perez. Jones at the top of the arc over to Berry. Berry's going to come off a screen. Looking to drive, hands it back off to Jones. Jones drives, little floater, just misses short. Nehus, beautiful rebound. Can't get the shot to go, but she gets it again. Way off on her putback. Little out of control, though, on the putbacks. And the rebound that came down to Dean, she will be fouled. And that is the 15th foul. And so it looks like Dean's going to go to the line for 2 shots. So, again, Northwestern, the free throw line has been their friend here this evening.
Well, it's the reason they've stayed in the game, and the only reason they're down here as a free throw shot and not just coming down for a regular possession. Nehus continues to just go out of control, trying to bring it down with her shot off a rebound. She just needs to go straight up, put it right back, and that puts easy points on the board. And we were talking about it. She's leading the scoring right now for SNU with 10. Sydney Carolina's career high matches her jersey, 24.
So 1 of 2 from the free throw line for Dean as SNU back in possession here. Nehus going to go out to Jones. And Nehus at the baseline, long baseline jumper, off. Rebound comes down to Peterson. And Jones looking to run here for Northwestern. Jones drives, picks up her dribble, tries to go to Brown. It's overthrown, and it'll be taken away by Carolina. Carolina now on the move, pulls it back out, almost loses it. And they'll get it to Jones and slow it down and set up the offense here. They'll go inside to Carolina, and they're going to get a bump foul on Peterson. And it'll be baseline out of bounds here for SNU. Only 4 points in this quarter, but Northwestern only 7. It's an 11-point lead for SNU. As they'll go inbound to Perez. Well, Perez tried to save it, but it was fine when she was over the line. They tried to go inside to Nehus, tried to thread the needle, and it's taken away by Brown. Back comes Northwestern. Jones to Brown. Brown looking to drive. Look for the Euro step, and it gets sent back by Nehus. Big block, her 3rd of the game.
And once again, it's Abby Nehus. I mean, you don't get it done on one end of the court, you get it done on the other end. 3 blocks now.
Jones to inbounds. And she'll get out to Brown in the corner. They go inside to Dean. Dean back to Brown. Brown looks to drive baseline, almost taken away by Perez. And then a tough shot by Peterson is blocked by Carolina. Brown with the rebound. Then another shot by Beecham, blocked again by Carolina. And here comes SNU. Perez to run. Gets out to Carolina, drives baseline, and it will be a foul on Dean. Carolina will go to the line for 2. Great defense on the other end by SNU. Already 8 blocks in this game for Carolina. Had 2 on that possession. That is her 3rd of the game. And she's now at the line. 10 points already today. First one's off and off the back iron.
And now here's where SNU really needs to step up. If Northwestern's going to stay in this game via the charity stripe, then SNU has to answer. And if they don't answer, I mean, they're welcoming the Rangers back into competition.
Dorneman checks into the game for the 2nd time today. As the second shot from Carolina's up. Back iron. A little friendlier that time as it goes down. Leads back out to 12 as Schwacke checks back into the game. And Northwestern set to inbound with 3:02 to play in the first half. Jones on Jones. Alexis Jones has been excellent. Jay Jones so far 3 points, all on free throws, 0 for 3 from the field. Destiny Robinson into the game for the first time, and they're going to get a foul off the ball. I believe that's going to be on Barry. Waiting for the call here from the officials. Regardless, going to the line will be Bailey Brown.
And that one's going to be on Barry, so Barry's once again getting a foul. That's her 2nd.
Let's see what Coach Doris decides to do here. Will he pull Barry? Will he keep her in? Does he trust her enough to keep her in the game? As the first free throw is good, that looks to possibly be the case. They trust Barry enough to say, all right, you got 2. Be careful, but we're going to keep you in.
But then there's that risk that if Barry fouls again, I would not bring Barry back until at least the midway of the 3rd quarter.
Jones with the ball. Gets it to Barry. Barry takes a 3 off, and the rebound's going to come down to Dean, and yet another foul on Southern Nazarene. Or are they going to get that on Northwestern? Sorry, it was 11 on 11. They called the foul on 11. We just don't know which 11, and it's going to be the Northwestern 11, Mackenzie Dean.
And I was about to be very upset if that was against SNU. That one, I mean, I don't care what world you're reffing in. That one was not a foul on Schwacke.
And Schwacke's first free throw is off. And that one is no good. 6 of 8 at the line, only the 2nd miss from the free throw line. So Schwacke will get another one. Checking into the game is Kinsey Niederer. One more free throw coming up. That one is good. And the lead back out to 11. Northwestern's done a nice job just chipping away. However, SNU holding a double-digit lead as Jones comes forward. Jones comes off a screen. Takes a tough shot, no good. Rebound, though, to Peterman. That one's off, and it's going to come out of bounds. It'll be SNU basketball.
That's one of the few times that Jones is able to get some kind of separation from Alexis
And
Jones.
even when they did, I think a lot of people were looking for the illegal screen there as Jones went to the ground. But Jay Jones, a good help defense on the inside to just put – her shot is just off so far today. Schwacke with it. Gets it over to Jones. Jones drives. Beautiful drive, but it's going to be blocked by Peterson. And a scramble on the floor is going to tie it up, but it will be Southern Nazarene basketball. So they will keep it. 2:03 remaining in the half. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Only 6 points in this quarter. SNU has cooled down offensively. Schwacke gets it. Drives. Tough shot. And the shot goes in, but it does not count. However, it will be a foul on Destiny Robinson. And even though the foul was on the floor, that is the 15th foul. So Schwacke back to the line for 2 more free throws. 1 of 2 so far on the day.
Now Schwacke, she comes off the bench, and she's probably about the 2nd or 3rd reserve for the Crimson Storm, so she's got to make it happen on the free throw line.
And her first one is good. One more coming up. Schrepfer set to come back in. She'll have to wait till the next dead ball as that one is missed. Peterson with the rebound. Brown will get it. Brown looking to drive on Barry. Now looking to back down. Barry almost takes it away. Brown goes to the ground, loses control, and they call timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll stay with you as the short timeout, but let's just check some scores in the GAC, John.
Well, it's at halftime right now, and look at this. Number 2 in the conference, Arkansas Tech, is getting the game handed to them by Henderson State. 36-16 right now, getting beaten by 20 points by the Reddies. Elsewhere, at the beginning of the second half, Southern Arkansas is currently over Harding, but only by 6, 34-28. At halftime going on right now, another close game. Ouachita is up by 4 over the Cotton Blossoms of Monticello, 25-21. Another coming out of halftime, another close one by 6, Oklahoma Baptist over the Savage Storm of Southeastern, 40-34. Of course, the game here that's very close to halftime. And also Southwestern, the number 1 in the conference over East Central by 7 at the moment. That one's at halftime as well.
Jones looking to drive, tough shot. Good defense again, this time by Schrepfer. However, it goes out of bounds off an SNU defender, and it will remain Northwestern basketball. 1:39 to play in the half. Jones now to inbound. Jones will go up top to Peterson. Peterson looks to drive, and they're going to get a wow, that is a touch foul on Dorneman. And back to the free throw line will go Hannah Peterson.
And I think that one's just a little bit too ticky-tacky for my taste. All she did was just lightly touch her, basically. They're going to call her for a foul.
First free throw was up, and it is good from Peterson. And I tell you, that is the 20th free throw in the first half from Northwestern. Number 21 coming up right now. 15, make that 16 of the 26 points at the free throw line for Northwestern. It is saving them here in the first half. Schwacke with it, goes inside to Dorneman. Dorneman kicks it back out to Barry. Barry now drives. Floater. Good. Beautiful crossover. Breaking that zone. And the easy floater. Lead back out to 12 as Jones looks to drive. Jones to the rim. It's good and the foul. Dorneman just a little too aggressive there after she was beat. And Jones with the layup. And a free throw coming up.
See, sometimes you just got to make a business decision on whether or not to take a swing at the shot. That's just one of those that Dorneman's just going to have to let go.
And that is the third on Dorneman. Obviously a reserve player, but she's going to check out of the game, and Niehu's going to check back in. And Jones can cut this under 10, and she misses the free throw. Schwacke with the rebound. Schrepfer will bring it forward. She's going to take it all the way. Tough layup, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Niederer. And a great job by Schrepfer. She's coming down the floor, and she sees just a wide-open lane and takes it. And I think she knew by the point she had gotten to where she knew she had the layup, she knew that a charge was not in the option there. If anybody tried to get in front of her, it was going to be a block.
That's what makes Madeline Schrepfer so special. She's the smallest person on this team, but no one has a bigger heart. She knows that she's going to get hit hard going to the basket. She takes it in stride.
First free throw is good from Schrepfer. Junior out of Rockwall, Texas, Heritage Christian. 5'5" guard. As John mentioned, the shortest player on this team. And the second free throw up and good. Lead back out to 12. So Jones will come back forward. And about 1 minute remaining here in the first half. Jones comes off a screen. She's going to take a three, way off. Barry with the rebound. Hands it off to Perez. Perez looking to run. Schrepfer now with it. She drives. Kicks it out to Niehu's. Long mid-range jumper, way off. Brown off her hands, and it will remain SNU basketball. 46 seconds in the half, new shot clock for the Crimson Storm. So Barry will set to inbound. Goes out to Perez, who's had a nice first half as she drives. She throws up a floater, and it's good.
She even threw that little fake pass in it, so great play.
Jones on the other end, tough shot. Ooh, nice layup there by Jay Jones. Very tough shot, though. And this should be the final shot of the first half. They should actually turn the shot clock off as the game clock is ahead. So 20 seconds remaining, a 12-point lead for SNU. Let's see what they can do here on the final possession. You imagine they're probably going to be looking for number 10 here. Of course, Perez also has been hot in this quarter. Actually, Niehu's wide open under the basket. It's good. Schrepfer just saw nobody covering her. Jones will bring it forward. 4 seconds on the clock. Taken away by Perez. 2, 1. It's up off the back iron. Oh! And it is halftime, and what an exciting first half it was. Your score at the break, Southern Nazarene 44, Northwestern 30. Take a deep breath. What a half it was. We're going to take a quick timeout, but when we come back, we will have some first half stats for you, as well as some scores around the GAC. You are watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com. Halftime here in the Sawyer Center with your score, SNU 44, Northwestern 30. And what a first half it was for the Crimson Storm, John. What are some things that really stood out to you as to why the Crimson Storm had this 14-point lead?
Well, we've been saying it all night. Jones v. Jones. It's been, I mean, Alexis Jones has been giving Jade Jones all she can handle in the first half. She's not letting her get any sort of momentum. She's maybe gotten a good shot off once in this entire half, and every other shot that she took, whether it was a jumper or a layup, they gave her nothing. And what you'll notice is as we go to the second half, they do the same thing. Alexis Jones engages Jade Jones at about the M in the Crimson Storm back there. If you know anything about basketball offense, you can't get any sort of offense done when you're 5 feet away from the three-point line.
There's even been times where she's defending her full court just one-on-one. And I got to tell you, I'm so unbelievably impressed with Alexis Jones. As a point guard who's also running your offense, it is not easy to defend somebody one-on-one all the way down the floor. And she's doing that masterfully. What I don't understand from Northwestern's point of view is, A, they have nobody else that can handle the ball that can help her, or B, somebody just set a screen in the back court and you try to get your point guard free to run some offense.
Exactly. I touched on it in the first quarter. It happened as soon as the ball is passed in, that inbound player is running to the other side of the court to set up an offense. You do realize you can't get an offense started if the ball's not there.
And I think the most telling stat, we were just talking about it off air, Jade Jones, so she has 7 points on 2 of 8 shooting. I can tell you, none of her shots have come easy. I mean, we talked about the layup right towards the end of the half. That was a really tough shot she hit. And then I think the most amazing stat, 0 assists, 6 turnovers. And this is, as we've mentioned it many times, she's behind Alexis Jones, but she is second in the conference in assists. And she has not been able to do anything. And we talk about Alexis Jones, but I think we got to give some credit to Schrepfer as well, because she's also a disruptor a good bit.
She's a disruptor of a good bit, but on the other side, they don't have an answer for Abby Nehughes. The only way that they can stop Abby Nehughes is she makes that mental error and brings it down to her waist where they can swipe at the ball. Abby Nehughes on the boards is dominating, and on the defensive side, she has 3 blocks already. And I'm pretty sure that's her average.
And then Sydney Carolina coming through with 3 blocks as well. And then Adrian Berry, who just does everything on this team, 2 blocks as well. So let's go through a couple first half stats. We'll start with the team stats. Northwestern 7 of 31 from the field, 23%. Southern Nazarene 14 of 36, 39%. 6 of 14 from deep for Southern Nazarene, shooting 43%, well above their average. Northwestern 0 for 4.
Goose egg from beyond the arc.
The thing that has kept Northwestern in the game where Southern Nazarene is going to have to adjust, 16 of 22 at the free throw line. As we mentioned, 16 of the 30 points here in the first half have come from the charity stripe for the Rangers. Southern Nazarene also got to the line 13 times, converted on 10. They're shooting 77% from the free throw line. As we continue to go down, the teams are even in rebounds, 23-23. Surprisingly, Northwestern has pulled down 14 offensive rebounds. You can kind of recall a few of them that come off either long rebounds or block shots that kind of fall back. But regardless, still 23-23 on the rebounding end. That is a win for Northwestern because we talked about how good of a rebounding team Southern Nazarene is. Southern Nazarene has led this whole ball game. They have led by as many as 18. They have a 14-point lead at the half. I think this is also just such a telling stat. These next two stats I'm about to give you. Southern Nazarene, 11 assists to 7 turnovers. Northwestern, 0 assists to 11 turnovers. I'm going to repeat that. 0 assists. How many times do you see that in a basketball game where a team has 0 assists? And then, of course, 11 turnovers will bury you every single time. John, this team is 5th in the conference in assists, and they have 0 in the first half.
Well, we were talking about it with Jay Jones being locked up by Alexis Jones. Their offense is out of sync. They can't get anything going. In fact, if you look at the offensive production, the highest point total is Jones and Brown tied up at 7, when Jones is averaging 12. On the other side for SNU has 3 players in double digits already.
Yeah, it's incredible. Bench points are even at 11. Block shot, Southern Nazarene leads that 9-1. And so, I mean, that's just some of the first half stats we've seen. We'll look at a couple individual stats here real quick. Let's start with Northwestern. Jones and Brown are leading the way with 7 points each, but both have struggled. We mentioned the 6 turnovers by Jones. I believe her 2 field goals both came in the second quarter. Peterson with 4 points off the bench. You have a pair of players with 3 points in Dean and McDonald. McDonald also has 6 rebounds to lead the way. And then with 2 points is Farrell, Niederer, and Billy. So they all come in with 2 points. On the other side for Southern Nazarene, John just alluded to it, 3 players are in double figures. Carolina has 11 to go with 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal. That is quite the box score there for Sydney Carolina. Perez, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Another wonderful just score line there. Barry, 10 points, 3 rebounds, a pair of blocks, and a steal. Schwacke has 5 points off the bench and go with 3 rebounds. And you have 4 players with 2 points in Schrepfer, Freeman, Gillette, Nehus. Also noting with Nehus has 4 rebounds in the game and 3 block shots. Even has an assist and a steal from the center on the squad. So just those are some of your first half stats. And what a first half it was. 44-30 is your score. John, why don't we take a look here at this GAC scoreboard and get an update on some of the scores around the GAC?
Well, as we were saying earlier, a lot of them were in halftime. Now, all the games that we're talking about, with the exception of the one going on in Shawnee, they're ahead of us. So Henderson continuing to take it to Arkansas Tech, but Arkansas Tech has cut it to 13. 40-27 going on in Arkadelphia. The other game in Arkadelphia is just starting their second half. 25-21, Ouachita Tigers on top of the Blossoms of Monticello. Southern Arkansas holding a 6-point lead over Harding in the third quarter. That one's just starting. And, of course, our game, the one going on in Shawnee, has just started the second half. Oklahoma Baptist up 40-34 over Southeastern. And let's keep an eye on this one. Third quarter just started. East Central is only down by 3 points to Southwestern, the top team in the conference, ranked nationally at number 17. Keep an eye on that one. Some interesting games going around the GAC. And we want to also remind you that this is a doubleheader today. Women's game, obviously SNU holding a 14-point lead. And then we have a huge men's game coming up with the number 21 ranked. I don't think SNU fans can get enough of that. No.
Number 21 ranked Southern Nazarene.
Well, the words SNU, Southern Nazarene, and ranked usually don't belong in the same sentence. Now we're just getting used to it, and it's just feed us. Yes. Come on, let's go.
SNU, number 1 in the GAC, is going to take on the number 2 team in the GAC. in Northwestern, and that should be an outstanding contest, and we look forward to bringing it to you later this evening. But for now, we're about 5 minutes away from the start of the second half, so we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back and get you ready for the start of the second half between SNU and Northwestern. Again, your halftime score, Southern Nazarene 44, Northwestern 30. Set here for the start of the second half between Northwestern and SNU. The Crimson Storm hold a 44-30 lead. James Hill and John Hale here on the call, here live from the Sawyer Center. And John, I think if you're a Northwestern fan, I think the question you have is, can we get Jay Jones going? And if we can't, can we keep getting to the free throw line? I think that's about their only chance if they can do one of those two things. What do you think? What are some keys for not only Northwestern but also SNU in the second half?
Well, coming out of the locker room, I immediately look over to Northwestern. Otay is back in the lineup. So if she's ready to go, that's big for Northwestern. In my opinion, they need to get Otay working with Jones to distribute the ball a little bit more coming up. Because if Jones is going up against Jones and locking that down, you got to get some sort of help over there to try to break up that defense. If Northwestern doesn't get some sort of help over there to Jones, they're shooting themselves in the foot. The other thing, SNU, you got to get offensive production, especially in this quarter, to set the tone, and then carry that production over. Otherwise, you're inviting Northwestern to stay in the game, and we know the GAC. If you invite people into the game, they'll bite you.
And I think the other one, Niederer, we talk about Jones. Niederer averages about 10 points a game, and she is only at 2 so far after one half of play. So we're set to go in the second half. Northwestern will start with it. Lineups are the same. Niederer, Ote, McDonald, Jones, Brown on the side of Northwestern, Jones, Berry, Nehus, Perez, and Carolina in the game. For Southern Nazarene, Ote looked to drive, and instead Niederer will drive. Mid-range jumper, a tough one, but a good one. Perez was right there with her, but Niederer knocks it down. That was another player we're talking about that needs to get going as Berry draws the foul. So a foul here early on Bailey Brown. 44-32 is your score. We just started the second half here from the Sawyer Center. And we're already going to get a substitution because that is the third foul on Brown. As the third leading scorer on Northwestern, so Mackenzie Billy's going to check into the game. Keep in mind she also has 2 fouls. Carolina open for 3. Gets it out to Perez in the corner. Perez coming around the arc, spins, gets it over to Berry. She'll take that 3, and it's way off. Airballs it actually, and it will be Northwestern ball. You don't see that very often.
Well, you don't, but Adrian Berry, what she's doing, she's shooting more straight, more line drive shots. Get a little bit of more air under that, like we know that you can do. And those will continue to fall because she started out insanely hot to start out the game.
Jay Jones kicks it out to Billy for 3. It's good. And we have a 9-point game for the first time since early in the first quarter. Northwestern has gotten it under 10 points. As Jones, it's a 2-3 zone steal from Northwestern. They have stayed true to this zone. As they'll go inside to Nehus. Beautiful ball movement. Carolina long 2. No good. Niederer pulls down the rebound. And they'll get it to Jones. Alexis Jones right there with her. Jade Jones looking to go. A little bit of a bump there. They let it go. Jade Jones now will come off a screen. Gets it over to Billy. And Billy goes inside to Niederer. Niederer outside, wide open is Ote. Way off, though. But the rebound by McDonald, then a block by Nehus. Then McDonald gets it again, and this time draws a foul. And Northwestern, we were talking off air. We thought SNU closed the first half out strong, maybe kept the momentum with them, but Northwestern coming out hot here in the second half.
They're coming out strong and aggressive. SNU, as you'll notice, Nehus just kind of waited for that rebound to come to her. She needs to go up and attack the boards.
McDonald's first shot is off. She is only a 48% free throw shooter. And checking into the game early is Kennedy Gillette. She's back into the game for the first time here in the second half. One more coming up for Selena McDonald. It's up. It's no good. Nehus this time attacks it and brings it down. And SNU will come back after 2 missed free throws, 2 rare missed free throws from Northwestern. Perez at the wing. Gets it to Jones, out to Berry. Moving it around the perimeter. Oh, nice pass. Beautiful pass to Berry, who misses the layup. And the rebound goes to Niederer, and here comes Northwestern looking to run. Ote almost loses it. Niederer shuffled her feet there, and it's a travel.
And SNU, you better believe that Derek Doris is kicking himself because that is just as good as it gets. They're not going to get a whole lot of those as the game gets later.
Yeah.
So
it was a beautiful screen by Nehus that opened up Berry and gave her the wide open layup. Berry just seems a little off her game here. She missed a couple shots late in the first, and she's a little off here in the second half, and she just turns it over here. Ote steps in front of it. She looks to run, and she will take it out to the wing. Now looks to drive. Nice crossover towards the baseline. Kicks it back out to Billy. Billy looks to drive. Gets it out to Ote. Open for 3. Pump fakes. Now takes the mid-range. Off. No good. Rebound to Jones. Jones comes forward. Jones drives. Kicks to Perez. Perez back out to Jones. Open in the corner for 3. Way off. Rebound comes down to Ote. Ote's got a 3-on-1 situation here. Hands it off to McDonald, who lays it in. And it's a 7-point game. We're going to get a 30-second timeout from Coach Doris, and suddenly we have a ball game, folks. A 7-0 run to open up the second half, and your score, SNU 44, Northwestern 37. You're watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com. Back here at the Sawyer Center, 44-37, SNU leading Northwestern. A 7-0 run to open up the second half by the Rangers. They are already 3 of 6 from the field. They've hit a three-pointer, and SNU has started 0 of 4 from the field. So SNU trying to get it back going here as Jones will bring it forward. 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Jones with it, kicks it out to Barry. Barry over to Jones. Jones, beautiful pass to Nehus, lays it up and misses, gets the rebound though. Misses again, way off on the rebound, and it will be a foul as Niederer pulled down the rebound, and they get it on Nehus, her second.
Now that's 3 easy layups that SNU has missed. They can't do it. They got to capitalize. That's as good as it gets, and they're letting Northwestern stick around.
Those are easy points that can increase your lead. As Ote comes off a screen, she crosses over and falls down, and she's looking for help. Perez all over, almost steals it. Ote gets it back, now drives the baseline, gets blocked by Nehus. McDonald with the rebound, gets it out to Billy. They'll go to the corner. Niederer for 3, off the back iron, no good. Rebound to Jones, and they'll get a foul on Ote. Well, you can tell Ote brings a lot of energy, but you can also tell she's a little out of control, both with her shot and kind of when she's going to the basket.
And sometimes it bites her. I mean, you can see, I don't know if you can see on the broadcast because we're filming out wide, but she's got a pretty big, good-sized bandage over that left eye, or that right eye.
And she left late in the first quarter after an injury. Barry's going to take a 3 from the wing. That's good! And that's what SNU needs, Adrian Barry, to start heating up again. And she pushes the lead back to 10 with 6 minutes to play in the third quarter.
And here's that adjustment that I said Northwestern had to make. Get Ote involved. Let her bring it up. Yes, she's a little out of control, but she's better than just giving nobody back there to help out Jones.
And Ote takes it, drives, and she will turn it over. The problem with that, John, can be that Jones doesn't touch it at all like she did on that possession as Barry takes it all the way and lays it in on the fast break. Jones looking to run on the other end, pulls up. She's going to go cross court to Billy. Billy looks to drive. Gillette on her. Tough shot, draws the foul. I believe that will be on Gillette. And with 5:30 remaining in the quarter, Billy's going to go to the line for 2. But, I think if you're Coach Doris, if you're having Ote bring the ball up instead of Jones, you've succeeded. You've been able to disrupt Jones enough that somebody else needs to handle the ball, and then you get possessions like the last one where Jones doesn't even touch it. And I think if you're Coach Doris, that is exactly what you want as Mackenzie Dean checks into the game for Northwestern.
Which Diesel Horse now has a pick your poison. Do I give it to Jones and get harassed the whole way down, or do I not give it to Jones and risk my offense being completely out of sync?
Schwacke going to check into the game for Gillette. It's 11-point lead as the second free throw was good. And back comes Southern Nazarene, finally getting this offense moving a little bit. Thanks in part to Adrian Barry. Actually, thanks completely to Adrian Barry. Has all 5 points so far. Schwacke with it, gets it over to Nehus. Now Schwacke will take a 3. It's good! Julia Schwacke has 8 points on that three-pointer, and the lead is back out to 14.
Now Schwacke, she doesn't have the best form, the best technique of a shot, but somehow she gets it there.
Jones shot missed. Rebound by McDonald, and they're going to get a foul on the putback.
I believe that's on Perez.
It will. Actually, I think they got Schwacke on it. And we're going to take a quick timeout. Timeout on the floor. Your score, Southern Nazarene 52, Northwestern 38. You're watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com. (52-38) is your score here from the Sawyer Center. Southern Nazarene leading Northwestern. Heading to the line will be Selena McDonald. McDonald so far today 3 of 6 at the free throw line, right about her average, as we said. She shoots 48% from the free throw line. You can see that motion a little bit awkward there as the first one misses.
Well, what she does is she brings it all the way up high and then all the way behind her head and then lets it go.
And the second one, no good. Perez, though, can't corral the rebound. Her and Barry almost both kind of went up for it, and it goes out of bounds on SNU, and you gift the ball back to the Rangers.
Now these mental mistakes are going to kill SNU if they just allow them to keep going without fixing them. I mean, that's just easy teamwork 101.
Jones with the ball. Jones will drive baseline. And Nehus put her hand up, went off the rim, and Barry's going to take it all the way for the lay-in, and the lead is out to 16. Nehus continues to disrupt things on the defensive end.
And now you'll see there, if you back up, Jones got the ball in pretty good stride all by herself, but then Alexis Jones is just a little bit too fast. She's going a little bit fast than you'll think she does.
And Jones tried to feed it into the post, and it ends up being a turnover. Nehus was all over, and I believe Perez came over and helped, and it went off the hands of McDonald. So a turnover by SNU, and back come the Crimson Storm. Jones out to Schwacke. Schwacke back to Jones, moving it around the perimeter. Inside to Nehus to Perez. Perez back inside to Nehus. Great catch. Couldn't finish, though. Pulled the rebound down, though, and drew the foul, and it remains SNU ball. And what you got to like about Nehus, she's not finishing as well at the rim as you would like, but, man, she fights for each rebound.
Yeah.
And so she comes away with another offensive board. Barry's going to get set to inbound it. Ote's back into the game, as well as Hannah Peterson. And actually, I think the first time today Jay Jones comes out of the game. Perez going to go out to Jones. Jones inside, beautiful pass to Nehus, and she finishes that one, and it's an 18-point lead for SNU. The offense starting to roll again.
And now Alexis Jones jumping all over Ote, and that's just a mismatch.
Ote runs into Nehus, gets rid of it to Billy. Billy now looking to drive with Barry on her. She forces it out to Dean. Dean now drives into the paint. Mid-range jumper good. And she cuts it back down to 16. Perez is going to take it as SNU looking to move. Perez back out to Schwacke. And Jones takes one dribble, mid-range jumper off the back iron. Peterson pulls the rebound down. And Northwestern will bring it up. Peterson actually bring it up now. Gives it off to Ote. Ote looking to drive. Now gets stuck. Gives it over to Billy. Billy backing down Perez. Tough shot, no good. Nehus with the rebound, then taken away by Dean, and then Dean throws it away. Dean with a nice steal there on Nehus, and then she was trying to feed it down to Billy, and I think she got stuck between a bounce pass and a chest pass and just missed her completely. And we have a few substitutions. Schrepfer is going to check into the game, as well as Freeman. both in for the first time in the second half. 3:02 remaining in the third quarter. A 16-point lead for SNU at 56-40. Schrepfer with it. Thought about a three there. Gets it out to Schwacke, though, who's wide open for three. And it's good! Schwacke with 11 points here off the bench. 19-point lead for SNU. Dean with it. Looking to drive on Schwacke. She drives to the baseline. Baseline jumper, Schwacke all over her. Couldn't get the roll. Rebound will come to Dean after a little bit of a battle there. Ote now with it. Ote over to Dean at the wing. Dean almost loses the ball there, but gets it to Ote. Ote looking to drive, spins to the middle, goes outside to Niederer. Niederer tries to pass it, almost taken by Schrepfer. And this is just great defense by the SNU Crimson Storm.
And they're going to have to keep it up. I mean, you got 14 seconds on the shot clock. You do that again, the exact same series, shot clock violation for sure.
Farrell set to inbound, side out here for Northwestern. Get it inside to Billy. Billy's going to hand it off to Dean. Dean will drive baseline, spins, tough shot, great defense by Schwacke, and she'll come away with the rebound, and now she's looking to run. Gets it over half court, slows it down smartly, and we'll get it to Perez. Perez back to Schwacke, thought about the three, hot hand right now. Schrepfer, tough drive, but gets it blocked by Peterson. Tried kind of that underhand layup and got it sent back by Peterson in the paint. Ote with it now for Northwestern. She's going to take a three, way off. Perez with the rebound, 1.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Perez looking to run. Perez to Schrepfer, and now SNU slows it back down. Smart move here by the point guard.
And this is the largest lead that SNU has had all game. 19 points now.
Freeman drives, tough shot. I think Peterson may have gotten a piece of it. And Northwestern now coming the other way. Farrell on the baseline, picks up her dribble. Ote thinks about the three, instead will drive. Tough shot, way off, goes over the backboard, and Ote has just not been able to do anything here this evening.
And it's either been Jones or Schrepfer on her. And Schrepfer's like, I may not start and I may not be as fast, but I can sure play defense.
I tell you, these point guards for SNU have absolutely locked down the Northwestern guards. They have not been able to do anything all evening, and that's a lot of credit to Schrepfer, and Jones. Schrepfer has the ball now. Looks to drive, gets out to Schwacke. Schwacke's going to come off a screen, gets it to Barry. Barry, tough three-pointer, way off. And the rebound comes down to Bailey Brown, just checking in here in the second half. She picked up her third foul very early in the third quarter. Almost gets it taken away, but Farrell comes up with it. Now she's wide open. She's going to drive instead and gets it taken away by Schwacke. Gets her hand in and swipes it.
Now, if I'm SNU, I'm looking to get it to Schwacke. Don't take it away from the person who's got the hot hand.
She already has 2 3-pointers in this quarter. Can she make it 3 with 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds? She gets it back. It's going to be Barry with it. 1 second. Takes the shot. Off. And that'll end the quarter. However, SNU, after a slow start to the quarter, outscores Northwestern 15-10, and we head to the fourth with the Crimson Storm leading the Rangers 59-40. You're watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com. 59-40 is the score going into the fourth quarter. Southern Nazarene leading Northwestern. James Hill along with John Hale. And John, 7-0 run to start the third quarter for Northwestern. What's Southern Nazarene response? A 15-3 run to close out the quarter and take complete control of this game.
Now, I don't think this is Derek Doris' style, but I'll say it anyway. Do not play conservative here. Keep playing tough, keep playing hard, going 100%. Do not let up. Even if it is the fourth quarter, you're blowing them out. You have the largest lead of the night because we've lived it through the sports year that is 2017 and 2016, 2017, and we've seen some blown leads. We do not want that here tonight.
Jones takes the inbounds, looks to drive, spins, kicks it out to Schwacke. She's had a great second half. Goes inside to Freeman. Freeman, tough shot, and they're going to get a foul on Peterson. Freeman may have got a little bit of a bailout call there. She had a tough shot underneath, but regardless, she's going to the line for two.
Right, and even I was thinking that may have been a little bit late, and she had a good move, just didn't know quite where she was on the floor and goes on the bottom part of the backboard.
So she's going to shoot two. Freeman's first one is up, and it is good. Candace Freeman, junior out of Prosper, Texas, standing at 6 foot. And Freeman on the season, 83% free throw shooter. She's already made 2 today, and she's now 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Largest lead of the game, 21 points. I've noticed Jade Jones not in the game right now. So now Alexis Jones is guarding Ote, who just got the ball. Ote looking to drive on Jones, and she's all over her. Farrell now looks to drive. Brown into the paint, spins, tough shot. Draws the foul on Gillette, who does not agree with that call there, but regardless, Brown's going to go to the line for 2. You know, another thing I've noticed, John, in the third quarter, only 6 free throw attempts for Northwestern, and what I think is even more telling, only 1 of 6 from the line. So they've really cooled down at the free throw line, despite that first one going in.
It's a 20-point lead now for the Crimson Storm, and and you're right. I think we can attribute that to the lack of trips to the free throw line because we harped on it. It's what kept them in the game.
And a long rebound's going to come out to Brown after it went off the back iron. Ote going to fire a 3. She's off again. I think if you're Coach Doris, you let Ote take as many shots as she wants. As Freeman pulled down the rebound, had a lot of hands in her area, and they're going to call a foul on Northwestern. And looks like they got the foul. I believe that was on Brown. That is her 4th. And, you know, I know it's a 20-point lead, but if you can get Bailey Brown out of the game, that would be huge for SNU.
Well, she's the only one on the Rangers who's having a little bit of trouble with fouls. She has 4. The next closest has 3. On the other side, Freeman, the only Crimson Storm player with 4 fouls.
Barry with the ball, comes off a screen. Barry crosses over, looks to drive. Tough shot. Almost gets it to fall, but she pulls down her own rebound and then draws the foul. Great job by Barry, keeping up with her own shot and being able to draw the foul. Let's see who this is on. That will be on Dean, Mackenzie Dean. That is her 3rd foul. And so 2 shots coming up for Barry, and Jade Jones is going to get ready to come back into the game. See if Northwestern can get one more run in. And now keep in mind, SNU did lead by 18 in the first quarter, and Northwestern put a little bit of a run. Actually, I think got it down as close to 10, but never could quite get that run to get back into the game. So far from over, as we've said a few times, and now the lead's at a game-high 22 points. As Dean's going to bring it forward. So if you're SNU, you just want to see him close here.
Yep. In fact, once we get past the media timeouts, a 3-pointer goes up there. Nope. They are 1 for 9 from beyond the arc today. If I'm SNU, once I get past the media timeout, I'm thinking get my starters out and call it a day.
Jones with the ball. Farrell defending. Jones, I think, was looking for a screen, never got it though. Freeman's going to take it at the elbow, and they're going to get her with the travel before her drive. And we're going to see Selena McDonald check back into the game. Nobody on Northwestern's roster is in double digits as far as scoring today. Their highest is from Brown with 8 points as Jones brings it forward. Jones just slowing it down. Alexis Jones just all over her. As Jones will get it to Dean. Dean's going to go inside to McDonald, who loses control, able to save it momentarily, and then Barry comes and takes it away from Dean. And so back comes SNU. Nice pass inside to Freeman. Tough shot, but gets it to fall. McDonald tried to help at the last second, but the lead's now out to 24. It is all SNU. Jones, tough mid-range jumper, way off. Alexis Jones altering that shot yet again, and it's SNU basketball.
And if you're Jay Jones, you just got to be thinking, can I get a break here? The game is basically put away. Alexis Jones just says, no, I'm still coming at you.
And so back comes SNU. You know, we were talking off air, and we said Northwestern, some of their losses, oh, nice backdoor cut to Barry. Jones to Barry, and the lead is 26. What a pass there. And but we were talking with Northwestern, some of their losses this season, when they have lost badly in some of their games. 88-50, 93-63, 80-45. It just seems like when things don't go well for Northwestern, they really don't go well, as Dean's shot is off and the rebound down to Freeman. So back comes SNU, now comfortably ahead here with under 7 to play. And I imagine they're going to take the advice from you, John, that when we get closer to this media timeout, we might be seeing some reserves to come to the game. Beautiful passing again. Freeman can't make the layup, though, and the rebound down to Brown.
Well, if we had to find just anything to nitpick with SNU in the second half, it's just that they've missed a few of those easy layups. So if there's anything that we just had to nitpick today.
They've probably left a good 10 points on the board just on some easy layups missed, which it's crazy to imagine how much more lopsided this could be when you factor that in. But I think SNU is going to take it either way.
Well, this is just an outstanding defensive performance by the Crimson Storm today. A team that's just too easy for Alexis Jones.
That was a beautiful move. Kind of gave the little fake on the mid-range and then just took it right to the cup and got the lay-in. Well, as you were saying, John.
This is a team that scores near 70 points, 76 points a game, and they're being held to under 30.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And you got to remember, in that first half, a lot came off of free throws, as Brown is going to get into double digits with the three-pointer there. Gets it to 69-44.
20% from beyond the arc for Northwestern as opposed to 45% for SNU.
Which I believe that may be a season high this season. We'll take a timeout. 69-44 is your score. SNU way ahead of Northwestern. You're watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com. Back here at the Sawyer Center, 25-point lead for SNU, 69-44. I see Schrepfer, Foster, Perez, Nehus all back into the game for the Crimson Storm. And Schrepfer has been excellent off the bench today at her point guard position. And she looks to drive. Out to Perez. Perez drives. Leaves it for Freeman. Actually, they're going to get it back out to Schrepfer. Schrepfer's going to come off a screen from Nehus.
Got to get a shot off.
On the shot clock, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. Probably one of the few times today Northwestern's had a efficient defensive possession there, as they will get the ball back and bring it down to Mackenzie Dean. I also see Northwestern, some of their best players out of the game. Jade Jones out of the game. Bailey Brown also out of the game. That's their two of their top scorers. As there's a turnover by Dean. I believe Nehus got a piece of that one. And back come the Crimson Storm. Beautiful pass by Schrepfer to Perez, who lays it in. And Perez now up to 10 points here. They must have made a stat correction because they just called that her 10th points. It must have been a correction. We had her at 10 in the first half, as that jumper is good from Dean. Gets it back down to 25. We're under 5 minutes, 4:35 to play in this game. It's going to be a win for SNU. We're pretty positive as SNU moves it around. Schwacke with it inside to Perez. Good inside-out movement and setting up a wide-open three from Foster off the back iron. No good. And the rebound comes to Deja Beecham. Beecham's going to drive all the way. Oh, she gets blocked by Nehus, but they got a foul, I believe, on Nehus first.
Foul came first. The body contact came first.
So Beecham's going to go line. I mean, John, if you're SNU and provided no miracles happen here in the final 4 minutes, I mean, this is a great win. It's going to put you to 4-4 in the conference. You're still in the middle. You're vying for a top 8 spot. But you're right in the middle. You've played some pretty good basketball here in the last couple of games. You know, what does this do for the team going forward, especially getting ready for a road game?
Well, as you said, they're going to Ada coming up, and that'll be a very important game against another team that's vying for a number top 8 spot. They're currently in a matchup with SWOSU. We'll keep an eye on that one. I'll get a score for you pretty darn quick. But once again, I mean, if you can come in and put the hurt like you have tonight on a team that's middle of the pack, probably going to be taking the trip to Bartlesville later on. This is impressive. If you go in and you play every single game like you did for 3 quarters, because that second quarter wasn't that great. If you play this way for 3 quarters and make it 4, you can compete with near everybody in the conference.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's impressed me is Beecham puts up a mid-range jumper and misses, rebound to Nehus. But the second quarter wasn't a great start to the second quarter, but they closed it strong, and it was a 15-15 second quarter. Third quarter, they started pretty poorly as well, but finished that strong. They found a way as Nehus misses, rebounds, back up, and draws the foul. They found a way to overcome some tough starts to the second and third quarter and finish them strong to remain on top. And I thought that was an excellent job by Coach Doris and this team as Nehus is at the line. First one's up, and it's good. Got a couple updates from the GAC, John?
Well, I have one major upset that went final. Henderson State destroys the Golden Suns tonight, 75-52 on their home court.
That is wow. That is a little surprising.
Southern Arkansas is currently ahead of Harding by 10 points with about 2 minutes left to go. So it looks like Harding will, barring some sort of late run, Harding's struggles will continue. As
surprising
to say the least, considering that they were picked preseason #1 unanimously, and they've just
hasn't been there
yet.
Yeah,
they've just been dropping the ball. Guys, same thing. I don't think the guys have won a game yet.
They have not. Beecham gets it out to Farrell. Farrell's going to take a baseline jumper. Oh, what a block by Nehus. I believe that is her 5th.
That's her 5th.
I believe that was number 5 there. Oh, she sent that one back and got the rebound, which she's at 12 now in the rebounding department. Sorry to interrupt, John, but that was
awesome.
Quite the block there.
No, if you're going to interrupt me for a highlight. I will forgive you.
Perez now will drive all the way to the bucket and draws the foul. Now back to those GAC scores.
And once again, Ouachita is going to take a win over Monticello today. Monticello, bottom of the conference, they struggle. They're struggling. They have the same record as Harding. They are going to go 1-6 in the conference. Ouachita sticking up at a 4-3 overall, so that'll put them happy sitting for the moment. They own a game on the Crimson Storm already this year. Looks like Oklahoma Baptist is going to take a win over the Savage Storm. They're up 8 at the moment. Of course, our game here. And just went final. Southwestern Oklahoma State escapes Ada after a pretty good scare. They actually ended up winning by 10, 90-80 over the Tigers.
Wow. Michaela Eisler into the game for the first time. Dorneman also checking back in, as a pair of free throws was good there for Perez, who checks out of the game with 12 points. You have got 4 Crimson Storm players in double figures here this evening as Farrell takes a 3-pointer, no good. Dorneman pulling down the rebound. who gets it to Schrepfer, and we have about 2:15 remaining in this game. A 27-point lead for Southern Nazarene as they have just blown Northwestern out. I think the 15-3 run to close the third quarter really changed this game completely. It looked like Northwestern was about to get back into it after a 7-0 run, got it under 10, and SNU responded and is really closing this one out as Dorneman puts one up, no good. Rebound by Peterson. Beecham brings it down. Beecham's going to fire a three-pointer. That's way off. And 1:43 now remaining in this game. We're going to see some more substitutions. That's going to be Shayna Bent into the game. So you're seeing a couple players now that don't have a lot of playing time getting some minutes here in the final two against Northwestern. As Schrepfer will bring it up. She drives, and we're going to get an offensive foul. It looked like that ref kind of reluctantly called it, like she didn't want to call it, but it sounded like she just had no choice. I believe it's on Dorneman, which is her fourth. And so 1:33 remaining. And
you might as well just keep Rachel Dorneman in with about 90 seconds left.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Robinson will bring it down. It's like for the first time seeing a little bit of zone action here, possibly. Actually, no, take that back. Still man. Some of the movement made it look like a zone. And we're going to get a foul. It's going to be on Bent. That'll be her first. I believe SNU has been in the bonus. They've had 5 team fouls in every quarter, I think except this one. They're at 4 right now. Let's see if they can keep it that way as Beecham drives. Out to Peterson. She's going to take a 3 and knocks it down.
Make it just a little bit more respectable than it is.
Down to 24 now, I believe. That is the third three-pointer. And look at that. All 3-pointers today from Northwestern has been from forwards as Dorneman's going to lay it up off a great pass from Schrepfer. 26-point lead. We got the post-game show coming up here. We'll have Coach Doris, and we'll have a player join us as well. We'll see who he brings up. Could be Adrian Berry. Could be Alexis. He has a lot to choose from here. Let's just put it that way. So we'll see who he brings up with him. We'll have that coming up, and we'll get you ready for the men's game coming up here about 20 minutes after the final buzzer sounds. So we'll have post-game stuff coming up, post-game stats. We'll also get you ready for that men's game. So a lot going on here in the final 30 seconds. And Bent looking to drive. Tough shot, no good. 25 seconds remaining in the game. Beecham looking to run. She slows it up. Shot clock is off, so imagine Northwestern will try to get a shot up here, and then when SNU gets it back, that'll be it. Peterson shot way off. The rebound's going to come down to Forel. And Forel looks to move here, under 10 now. Peterson going to take another shot. That one is good. Gets it down to 22, and that will do it. Southern Nazarene, one of their more complete games of the season. They blow out the Northwestern Rangers by the final score of 76-54. What a game for SNU. We're going to take a very quick break here. We'll come back with some final stats. We'll get you the player interviews coming up here shortly. Again, your final score, SNU 76, Northwestern 54. We are final here from the Sawyer Center. The SNU women dominate Northwestern to a 76-54 win. We are here with senior Sydney Carolina after a tremendous performance. I mean, you did a little bit of everything. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, 1 steal. I mean, quite the all-around game. Take me through your performance today.
Well, I just know before we had a team meeting saying, what do we need to do this game? And I know I needed to step up and be a leader. It's my senior year, so I needed to be more confident. I needed to score more. I needed to get in and do what I need to do so we can win.
Well, talk to me a little bit. You guys came out hot. You guys were able to jump on them. You got out to a lead as high as 18. How important was it for you guys to start fast like that?
Very important. We always start out strong, and we have to stay keeping strong. Usually we lose our lead, and this time we was like, we have to keep the lead. We have to keep the lead up because we're tired of blowing the lead, and it's just, we have to get out and do what we need to do. Finish them early, go home, on to the next game.
I think one thing that really stood out today, you guys were incredible defensively. How big was this defensive performance? How big of a point was it to be able and shut them down really completely offensively?
Practice. Our coaches had scout. Coach Cooper, he has scout to the T. He nails it every time, and we finally executed and did what we needed to do. All
right, I'm going to take you to a point where you're in the third quarter. You guys get off to a little bit of a slow start in the third quarter. They go on a 7-0 run. They get the game down to 7, I believe. And then you guys, just take the game over. 15-3 run to close the third quarter, and then you guys dominate the fourth quarter to finish them off. What were you guys telling each other after that little bit of a run that Northwestern got on?
We got to pick it up. We can't lose. We're not losing this game. That's basically what we said in the huddle. We all came together and we said, we're not losing this game. And then from that point on, we came out there and we did what we needed to do.
Senior Sydney Carolina finishes with 11 points, does a little bit of everything throughout the game, and SNU defeats Northwestern 76-54. Sydney, congratulations on a great game.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. We'll have Coach Doris coming up here shortly, and then we'll get you ready for the men's game. You're watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com. Sound. Now we have sound. Again, your final score 76-54, Southern Nazarene defeating Northwestern. James Hill here, John Hale here to my right. Tremendous game here from Southern Nazarene this evening, John. You have 4 players in double figures. You had, I think, an outstanding defensive effort. I really was impressed with how this team defended here this evening and really took it to a solid Northwestern Ranger team.
Well, and we learned a little bit about Northwestern today. We learned that when Jade Jones is not playing her best, the team suffers. And that's exactly what happened tonight, and we can attribute most of that to Alexis Jones. Jones v. Jones the entire night. She never let up, and she utilized her speed and her tenacity against Jade Jones, who just hasn't been up against that kind of pressure all year, and she went step for step. And even when it looked like Jade Jones got a little bit ahead, Alexis Jones comes right back with that speed, gets step for step with her again. She didn't let her have hardly anything tonight. SNU played this is probably their most complete defensive game of the year. They held the Rangers to only shooting 20% from beyond the arc, 26% from the field in general. The only place where Northwestern had any sort of shot to stay in the game was on the free throw line, and even that faltered in the second half. They ended up shooting just under 60%.
Yeah, and a tremendous performance from Southern Nazarene. You brought up Jade Jones. She finishes the game 2 of 12, 7 turnovers, only 1 assist, 7 points total. She didn't score at all in the second half, and you can credit that to Alexis Jones. And also a little shout out to Madeline Schrepfer, who also, I think, when she had to come in and came in as a backup at point guard, she made some big plays happen as well.
Madeline Schrepfer, once again, she doesn't put it on the stat sheet, but she is definitely the heart of this basketball team. She's not big, but she will sacrifice her body in those big moments to give SNU any sort of leg up, and that radiates to her teammates.
A couple things for SNU, 25-67 from the field. They shoot 37%. One of their highest performances from the three-point line, it'd be their second highest of the season, 9 of 21, 43% from behind the arc. I thought another impressive thing, 17 of 21 from the free throw line. They didn't get there as much as Northwestern, but they were more efficient, shooting 81%. Northwestern actually wins the rebounding battle 46-44, but Southern Nazarene dominates the assists 22-6. They also forced 19 Ranger turnovers, and they only had 12 turnovers on the evening. So some of those stats really stand out, especially the assists. We mentioned Northwestern came in number 5 in the conference as a team in assists,
and they came out of the first half with how many?
Zero. Only got 5 in the second half, or 6 in the second half. And so SNU really just dominates this game, really from start to finish. They had a couple hiccups where Northwestern, so we said they got down to 7 at one point. They kind of stayed within it in those middle quarters in the second and third. But really from start to finish, it was all Southern Nazarene.
All Southern Nazarene the whole night long, except for the second quarter. This is where this is like the only place where SNU needs to really fine-tune it, because it's happened 3 times now. 3 times in 3 games. Hot start, falter in the second, and then they let them back into it a little bit. The exception tonight is that they followed it through in the second half. The other 2 games, 1-point victory, 2-point loss. If SNU continues to follow through, there's not a whole lot of teams that can beat them.
SNU goes to 6-6 on the year, 4-4 in the GAC. Northwestern falls to 7-6 overall, and they go to 3-4 in the GAC. So big for Southern Nazarene as they leapfrog Northwestern in those GAC standings. We're going to wait on head coach Derek Doris, and we're going to do a little interview with him here shortly. The men's game got about 11 minutes left before tip-off. We'll hopefully get Coach Doris up, get a quick interview with him, and then give you a quick rundown of this huge game coming up on the men's side between Southern Nazarene and Northwestern. We'll take a quick break. You're watching SNU Basketball on SNUathletics.com. Back here at the Sawyer Center, Southern Nazarene defeats Northwestern 76-54 with head coach Derek Doris. And, Coach, an outstanding game. From my perspective, it seemed like an incredible defensive effort.
Yeah.
Talk about that defensive effort.
Well, I mean, we guarded their initial action very, very well, the dribble drive. And, you know, the only thing that we need to do a better job of is we gave up 23 offensive boards. Need to work on that. 14 in the first half and 9 in the second half. But we guarded their initial action really, really well. Drove them right into our bigs and did what we needed to do. I think they shot roughly around 26% from the floor. And so, you know, tremendous defensive effort from us. And then offensively, I felt like we were in transition a lot more this game than we have been all season. Seems like the first half we're really good at running, and then the second half we tend to die off. I think tonight we were pretty consistent with it.
Talk about your freshman point guard, Alexis Jones, and her defensive effort. She had a tough task with Jade Jones, their leading scorer. She's second in the conference in assists, and Alexis gets her to 7 turnovers, only 1 assist on the day. Talk about that performance.
It all starts with Lex. I mean, she just guards the ball. She's so tough, and she's so quick. I mean, you saw that against Tech's point guard. You know, all our defense really starts with her and ends with, you know, Nihu's driving people into the shot blocker. So, you know, we can't do what we do if Lex is unable to pressure the ball. And she pressured it for about 90 feet for about 22 minutes today.
Obviously, Adrian Berry had a big game with 21 points. Talk about Sydney Carolina's performance, though. She just did a little bit of everything all around and had an outstanding game.
She did all around. You know, she only played 15 minutes. I wasn't a very bright coach. But some of it late in the game, I wasn't going to put her in there because, you know, we got 3 more games in 5 days. So, you know, it was big for her to get off to a pretty good offensive start. She had 11 points, made a couple, you know, her first shots, which I think is good for her, and going into Saturday's game versus East Central.
Finally, we'll chat on this. In the third quarter, Northwestern opens the half with a 7-0 run. You guys finished the half, though, or finished the quarter with a 15-3 run. Really just take the wind out of their sails and then close them out in the fourth. Talk about that moment. What do you guys, you called a timeout after the 7-0 run. What are you guys telling each other, and how were you guys able to close them out?
Well, it's basically the same thing. I mean, we're getting any shot we wanted to. I felt like we lost our composure just a little bit. And before the game got out of hand, you know, they got even more momentum. We wanted to settle ourselves down, make sure we're getting any shot we can, whether against their 2-3 or zone, and we did that. And then we started running again and got some easy looks in transition.
Head coach Derek Doris, Southern Nazarene defeats Northwestern 76-54. Coach, again, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And we'll get you ready for the men's game here, ready to go in about 3 minutes.
Thank you, guys.
About 2 minutes from tip-off, we got Southern Nazarene taking on Northwestern here on the men's side. Excuse me, as John likes to hear, as I'm with my partner John Hale, the number 21 ranked Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm.
First time being in the polls since SNU joined NCAA, and you know what? When SNU announced that they were going to join NCAA Division II, this is what they were talking about. This is the kind of success that they were expecting to be contenders across the sports, and basketball is just the first one to get there. So this is uncharted territory for us SNU faithful. So this is big time. This is huge, and it couldn't have come on a better night. Number 1 versus number 2 in the conference during silent night.
I was going to say, crowd still filing in. Looks like we're going to have a really good crowd on hand here in the Sawyer Center. Southern Nazarene comes in 10-1 overall, 7-0 in the GAC. Northwestern 9-2 overall, 5-1 in the GAC. The Rangers I've actually had SNU's number here lately. They've won 3 straight over the Crimson Storm and 4 out of their last 6. They swept SNU last year for the first time in GAC play since the 2004-2005 season. So we're going to have a great contest here between the Crimson Storm and the Rangers. We're about 40 seconds from tip-off, so we can't do a full pregame show like we'd like to, but we're going to run you through the starters real quick. First on Northwestern side, number 3, A.J. Jones, a sophomore guard out of Atlanta. Starting at forward, a senior out of Longmont, Colorado. Number 4, Cedric Kalinge. Starting at guard, a senior out of Louisville, Kentucky. Number 10, Greg Minor Jr. Starting at guard, a senior from Temple, Texas. Number 24, Cody Halverson. And starting at center, a junior out of Denver, Colorado. Number 33, Trayvon Andrus. Sean Durden is the coach. He's assisted by Jordan Franz and Jarvis Jackson. John, let's hear those Southern Nazarene starters.
Well, first at guard, a sophomore out of Oklahoma City, number 3, Micah Spate. Following up behind him is number 13, the guard, 6'4", sophomore out of Rowlett, Texas, Chris Stevens. Behind him, number 22, Quaylon Newton. He's a 6'3" junior from Bryan, Texas. And behind him, former GAC freshman of the year, a 6'4" sophomore from San Antonio, Texas at guard, Jonathan Dunn. And finally, the big man in the middle who has just obliterated competition this year. The
6'11" helps.
The 6'11" junior in the middle, the center, number 32, Noah Starkey.
So a couple things, as we're getting ready, they're going to announce the starters. We're going to stay with you here since we only have a few more minutes left. I think you look at the team stats, and, I mean, these two teams are about as even as you can get. A lot of great stats on both sides. This is the Northwestern, the top defensive team in the conference, only allowing 67, 68 points a game. Southern Nazarene, number 2
defense in the
68.6 per game. I think one thing that stood out to me when I was going through it was rebounding, and I think that's going to be one of the keys to the game. Southern Nazarene averages 35 rebounds a game, almost 36. They hold their opponents to only 30 rebounds a game. On the other side, for Northwestern, they only average 34 rebounds a game, which is 11th in the conference. And their opponents only average about 33 rebounds themselves, but that could be an interesting matchup. This is not a great rebounding team, but when you have the Starkeys down low, including Noah Starkey, who's one of the tops in the conference in rebounds, that could play a big difference in this game.
I think what is going to play a big difference in this game, especially, is SNU's depth. SNU has a lot of big time players that don't get a whole lot of spotlights. For instance, the 2 young ones, R.J. Palmer and Ashton Charles. The 2 forwards, both of them freshmen, both of them above 6'6". They are able to do great offensive damage. Not so much defensive damage yet, but on offense they're doing wonders. Also, number 10, the transfer out of New Orleans and Fort Bend Clements, Coleman Edwards. Coleman Edwards is putting up some big numbers when needed to off the bench. And hey, you know what complements a giant 6'11" center? Another 6'10" center in a brother. Jared Starkey and Noah Starkey are a dangerous pair. And it's like, oh, we got one guy sitting on the bench. Nope, you got the other one coming in.
As we mentioned, this is one of the best shooting teams in Division III in Southern Nazarene. They are 9th in the nation in field goal percentage. They are 2nd in the GAC as well, 51% from the field. 13th in Division II in block shots per game at 5.2. Micah Spade is 6th in Division II and leads the GAC in steals per game at 2.7. And he is one of the just top players in the conference in general. We would be doing him a disservice if we didn't mention, Micah Spade's going to be a big part of this game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Micah Spade has come into a big role this year in terms of leadership. He's replacing one of the better point guards in SNU's history in Deshaun Portley. And he learned a lot under Portley, and he's come on, and he's not only the leading scorer, he's the true leader, field general of the court.
Tip-off. We are set to go in the Sawyer Center. SNU, Northwestern. We are underway. SNU wins the tip. Newton corrals it and gets it over to Spate, and here we go, folks.
Now remember, this is silent night, so the crowd isn't immediately into it, but once SNU hits 10 points,